Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ruffle Rowlet, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today, we're going to be taking a look at some more Pokemon leaks, rumors, etc., stuff like that. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a beverage if you don't already have one, and also we'll have more videos out today because one of the rumors that I've heard is that actually today, whenever I'm posting this video, which is the 22nd, it's going to actually be the same day that they might give us a trailer officially revealing Zorua and Zoroark from the Hisui region, like officially showing them in gameplay and stuff like that, as well as putting them on the official website. Because if you go to the official website for Legends Arceus right now, there is actually no, like in the Pokemon section, there is no post for Zorua and Zoroark. See, like it's not here, it's not in the regional form section, like there's no posting for it, the same way there is a posting for Cleavor, which was recently added and has the new tag on it on the top. So basically, you might see that very soon. But also, there's a leak I'm going to talk about towards the end of this video that's a pretty interesting one on 4chan. Or, I mean, we're calling it a rumor for now because it could be BS, but it looks pretty realistic, to be fair with you. So, sit back, relax, and let's get started with the first thing today, which is this right here. This is a leak posted by Ball Guy Leaks, again, coming back with more info, and it seems like Ball Guy is actually definitely real, by the way. I'm feeling like what he's saying is actually legitimate because of the fact that he actually got it right about specifically the Zoroark thing, and if you guys remember, Eclipse said Ball Guy Leaks is legit, and also Eclipse was the one of the people who gave us a lot of details about the Chinese Riddler, who was, by the way, correct about Zoro and Zoroark, by the way, as well. So, just saying, okay, just saying. Either way, let's continue. So, hashtag Pokemon Leak Legends. Apparently, Decidueye, Hisuian, will be a grass fighting type, according to this. Grass fighting, I already talked about this in my video before, and I've talked about this for the Riddle, as this was already revealed by a bunch of other insiders as well. Samurott is going to be a Water Dark type, and Typhlosion, Hisuian form, is going to be Fire Ghost, which honestly, that sounds amazing. But apparently, only the final form are Hisui. The second stages are going to be the same as usual. They won't change, apparently. So if you have a if you have a Cyndaquil and you evolve it into Quilava, it's still going to be normal Quilava. But once the Quilava evolves, it will change typing in some way or shape. And Samurott, same thing. It's going to be Water Dark instead of its normal, usual typing, right? Which also, when you think about it, it kind of makes sense with these Pokemon that they specifically chose here. Because these are Pokemon that don't gain a typing once they evolve. Like, let's say they took Mudkip, right? Once Mudkip evolves into Marshtomp, it already gains a new typing straight away. So in that case, you would need to change it already in the second stage. But interestingly about these three Pokemon, Rowlet stays a grass type once it goes into Dartrix. Same thing with, Oshawott stays a water type once it goes into Dewott. And also Cyndaquil stays a fire type only when it goes into, Quilava. I mean, I think for the most part, they stay the same, right? So I think the choices they made here for these Pokemon are very specific and very interesting, and they fit really well. So it would make sense then that the final evolution, aka Typhlosion, Samurott, and Decidueye would be the ones that actually evolve. So that's what basically we're being told here by Ball Guy Leaks. And also, this image right here, I've already talked about this one, I don't know, what to say about it. I feel like this most likely is fake. And also, people are already, kind of debunking it. But yeah, if you guys saw this image, I'm going to probably pretty much just say right now, it's definitely fake. It doesn't really fit the style that they go for with the art. It's not the exact Sugimori style with the shading and everything. It's not on point. You can especially see it on the bottom right here, right under me. If you see the difference in the shading between when it goes dark and the light shades, it just isn't the same, so definitely fake, by the way, just if anybody wondered about that one real quick, just thought I would bring it up. But yeah, for more or less though, Ball Guy Leaks is saying that these are going to be the new typings. Fire Ghost sounds amazing for Typhlosion. I want to see what that's going to be like. Water Dark for Samurott is going to be interesting. Honestly, that means it's going to be useful against something like Zoro and Zoroark with their normal Dark typing, which, by the way, we got to confirm from the Japanese website that, yes, Hisuian Zoro and Zoroark are going to be normal Ghost. So it's going to be really useful to have those on your team because the only weakness you will have is Dark typing. Next up, though, is this right here. So Ball Guy actually already knew before the reveal that it was going to be, essentially a Zorua, because he posted this saying Dark is superior to Ghost, the same way he posted the Black, in this case, is superior to White in terms of, the typings. And what he means hereby is, that the Dark typing is superior to the Ghost typing and stronger than it, which is the case right now, because the only thing that, it's weak against is literally the Dark typing, the typing of its original form, of its Unova form, right? So yeah, more or less, he kind of knew this ahead of time already, and he's just clarifying it here. If anybody doesn't understand, explain why I use Black to White, because Dark to Ghost. And that more or less just is him, just kind of confirming it. So that is pretty much that. But yeah, shout out to Soul Silver Art, by the way, for sending these things my way and letting me know about this info. Also, kind of interesting and funny little note by Kuro Blitz here. The Pokemon Company Incorporated out here pretending that it's 2010 again. Posting like an image of like the Pokemon movie with Zoro and Zoroark. And interestingly, actually, maybe the beta designs will indeed be Hisuian variants. I don't see why they wouldn't do Hisuian variants for like some of the, legendary beasts or whatever. Actually, I wouldn't see an issue with that whatsoever. And maybe these legendary beasts then, also show up in a future Legends game set in Johto. I don't know. I'm just speculating here, okay? I'm just talking about possibilities. Also, I got a mosquito bite right here, which is really annoying. Either way, let's continue on. So, we've not talked about these things. Now let's move over to something that's a bit more speculative, to say the least, okay? This is coming from Samus Hunter. Now, Samus Hunter, I will tell you right now, is somebody that we can't really 100% pinpoint if their information is real or not. They've been incorrect several times, so everything they say here, take it with a grain of salt. However, Eclipse has said that recently the information Samus Hunter's been putting out has been legitimate. If that is the case, I don't really know, but just remember, please take this with not a grain, but a mountain of salt, all right? Like a literal mountain of salt. That's what I'm just asking you to do. Just take it with a mountain of salt and assume that it could be fake. So let's get started. So I won't be able to respond in the next few hours. I'm already leaving you my comment about it. Since these sites are already reporting Zippo regarding Kirby and has recently mentioned Pokemon, I tell you this is completely wrong. And then somebody here says, speaking of which, I will obviously have nowhere near the scope of knowledge as Bloomberg does on the situation. I've heard of one developer that has the NGS dev kit, and that's Game Freak. For all what I've been able to gather from Game Freak are developing the next generation of Pokemon for the NGS specifically. So much so that Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are pushing to have the next game within the first 6 months of the system being store shelves, something that's never happened before. A Pokemon RPG in the first year of a Nintendo system is unprecedented, and it's a brilliant business move that will get droves of early adopters to buy the system, if that is true. Then he says, the next Pokemon generation will be released on the Switch, and not on the next console, which is not scheduled for the first half of 2022, and I have some doubts for late 2022 too. For late 2022, I'm referring to the new console. The new Pokemon games are for sure being announced early next year, like likely February, originally planned for late 2022, but it's possible that COVID delayed the game to a similar time frame to Legends, which could happen. So we could end up getting the games in early 2023, but still in that, quarter. So that's what they're saying, that, Pokemon is not coming out for the next console of, the Nintendo's next console. And then he goes on and says this, doubt, and this was response to Central Elite saying there's an Ursaring evolution that's rideable. We already saw a good amount of rideable Pokemon. There's one yet to be revealed tied to climbing, but the feature is very similar to Sun and Moon and not Let's Go. I haven't heard about any new evolution for these starters, and I have some doubts on their inclusion. Fair enough. Well, we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. The story will focus on the colonization of the Team Galactic. Their main purpose is not just to complete the Pokedex. In fact, they will mostly be an excuse. Arceus, well aware of the threat that will lead to the weakening of the region. Due to the massive capture inside the Pokeball that the gameplay will lead you to do, you will try to hinder you by making Pokemon aggressive. This element will be highlighted by the Islanders, where some are against the Pokeball, promoting a natural and harmonious lifestyle. The Galactic team will try to push the capture via Pokeball by focusing on the threat of aggressive Pokemon and the need to contain them in safe places. Apart from the story, it will be interesting to see in this game the ancestors of characters from the next Pokemon titles, implying that we'll be seeing characters, that, have ancestors that are then seen in the future, which we have already noticed with a lot of stuff already. So we'll just have to see how that turns out. And down here, people ask some questions. Do you know anything about post-game? Don't know much, but given the contents of the story, we might be the captain for the research center, which is fair enough. Fingers crossed the Legend new starter evos. Yeah, it's possible. It's a huge reveal. For now, I haven't heard anything from my sources. That means that they're not present or that they are keeping them really confidential at the moment. For now, I'm a little bit hesitant on their inclusion. That is a personal thought, which we'll see how that turns out. And then we continue on. Pretty much I had assumed it was a Hisuian Zoroark inspired by Kitsune Mask. In the video soon, possible tomorrow, they're going to reveal them in gameplay and their typings along other news for BDSP and Legends, implying that today we could see this happen. And I've heard a few other people say this as well, that we might see it today. It is Friday, so it is still possible they could post information. And I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but it kind of posts info really strangely recently. But if you're expecting news, they will drop usually, and if you want to convert this, around 3 to 4 p.m. European time, so CET, specifically CET, Central European time, right? That's when usually info drops, 3 to 4 p.m. If you want to know when it usually drops, that's around that time. So keep that in mind in your brain if you want to know about it. Either way, let's continue on. So the final thing, I want to talk about this because I mentioned this in my video yesterday, but I don't think a lot of people saw it. But here's a theory about one of the riddles that we saw, which is of this big bear boy. And we do have the talks about there being some sort of Ursaring thing going on, or at least like some old bear Pokemon would get one. So here's what we have. So in the bottom, like in the top here, we have a picture from a post by Demi, who's who just give us a rundown of what Eclipse was saying. Bottom right image points to an aforementioned new bear evolution from an old species, maybe not Ursaring as was shown as a mini boss. Then it says, rideable Ursaring Evo is fake. This is what Eclipse said, but Ursaring could still get an evolution. Eclipse was told an old bear Pokemon would get one. And then at the bottom, you have Spinda, which honestly looks like that picture. You've got the red nose thing going on, the white face and everything. It looks like that. And also Spinda appears to be based on a red panda with traits of a rabbit. The pattern of its body may be based on a subspecies of the giant panda, the Quinling panda. So in this case, it is very possible that the Riddle Bear pick actually might be, in this case, a Spinda evolution of some sort. Honestly, it wouldn't even be that strange. Spinda is one of those weird Pokemon that just kind of is more or less forgotten. It doesn't really get a lot of attention, and it's more or less just a Pokemon that's left in the past, in my personal opinion. But I want to know what you guys think about it, though. Let me in the comment section, and that is that for that. Now, let's move on to the next thing, which in this case is the more or less like thing that I would assume would be the leak in this case. So this image right here that you're seeing on the screen seems to be an image of the 3D model of Zorua, of the the new Zorua, and here's another image of it. But yeah, basically this person says, I'm one of the modelers for Game Freak. I'll try to answer any questions you have. Now, I think this is most likely fake. If it is real, then this is pretty insane. But honestly, I think it's most likely fake. And here's what he says. He responds to a comment, post Oshawott, Evo, or GTFO. I didn't work on that one. The ones I've done are Hisuian Zorua, Hisuian Zoroark, Dunsparce, Hisuian Voltorb, Electrode, Maractus, and Mantine. Now, I'll be honest with you, I think this is BS. I think this is fake. The reason I think this is fake is because there are a lot of fake people that make fake models and are very, quick with this sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Like people that are just very fast at making these models and shit. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Also, if we look at this, I don't know, let's see. Somebody's trying to make a comparison here in terms of like the ears, that there is a little like thingy on the ears here where it's like a bit of a cut thing. And that doesn't exist in the 3D model here. So I'm assuming that we can pretty much take that as this being fake. And honestly, there's not really much here being mentioned by this guy. He's just answering a few questions, but for the most part, it's not really, showing us anything. Like he says like Mantine is the airplane carrier leaked in the Chinese leak. And apparently the list he gave us here, right, about Pokemon, Hisuian Mantine. Now, I've talked about Mantine or Bonsly being the ones that will get new evolutions. But you mentioned some Maractus, which we've already talked about. More or less, what I'm going to say is I think this is fake. I think personally this is fake, but I would love to know your thoughts and opinions on it as well in the comment section down below. So let me know what you guys think about it. Yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for today's video, guys. If you did enjoy, drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe for future videos. My name has been Ruffle Rowlet, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, and bye-bye.